Hello, welcome back to Philosophy of Education, Module 2, Lesson 2. Today we are looking at progressivism, and this is your host, Dr. Tulipo Mwenifumbo. Um, when we talk about progressivism in the philosophy of education, we are talking about uh, the theory that emphasizes student-centered learning and personal growth. It also focuses on developing critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. It also encourages what is called active learning, exploitation, and discovery. Progressivism also encourages or values individual difference and diverse perspective. It also seeks to prepare students for dynamic citizenship and social responsibility. What are the key principles of progressivism, the theory of progressivism? These principles guide progressive educators in creating learning environment that prioritize student growth, creative and critical thinking. It is student-centered learning, which focuses on students' interest, needs, and experience. So this is whereby you believe uh, in an autonomy of students, knowing that students they can also discover, they can be able to teach themselves. And that is what we use, like in my teaching in these online classes. I focus on what is called progressivism, which focuses on you to discover. I just give guidance on how you should be able to acquire knowledge, but the discovery of knowledge and the creativity and also understanding of knowledge, it has to come from you. So it's is active learning encourages hands-on experimental learning through exploration and discovery. So it allows you to discover the knowledge that needs to be discovered. And it emphasizes on process over product. So it's whereby you are just guided, you guide your learners on how to uh, discover things, not necessarily spoon feeding them like existentialism, but you guide them, you make them to discover things, value the learning process and students' effort over end results. So the students must be able to discover things, and it is believed that when the students works on discovering things, they don't need to memorize, but they just need to know and understand what they want to know. It also develop critical thinking and problem solving skills, encourages students to question, analyze, and solve real problems. So students has to question and discover the answers to the questions. So it don't need to get it from the lecturer. I've had some challenges where people say, "Hey, why giving us assignment? Why can't you just teach us?" No, that our approach is progressivism, whereby a student must be able to craft and understand and learn by experimenting and also researching, valuing individual differences and diversity. So it also looks at individual differences. You know, the learning process, the way a person learns differs from one person to another. There are people that can be able to learn from class, and there are people that can learn by discovering. So you allow a person to explore his way of understanding the learning. So it recognizes and appreciates students' unique perspective, experience, and learning style. It also encourages social responsibility and democratic citizenship. So it is the one, you remember the essentialism we were talking about. It's a dictatorial kind whereby you have to respect the authority, But this one prepares students to engage in their communities and participate in democratic processes. It's a flexible and adaptive curriculum. It is not rigid. You should not just get what you have been told or what has been written, but you should be able to criticize and be able to come up with your own perspective and your own view. Allow for adjustment in the curriculum to accommodate students' interests and needs. It's It also encourages collaboration and group work, encourages students to work together to foster social skills, empathy, and collective learning. So, whilst the essentialism is there to impose the knowledge in you, but in this progressivism, you discover knowledge. Why it is told, you are told what to do, but in this one, you have to discover things by yourself. Inquiry-based learning encourage students to explore questions and topics through investigation and research. It also a reflective practice. When we talk about reflective practice, is that it encourages students to reflect on their learning, set goals, and identify areas of improvement. So emphasis on in progressivism. By emphasizing these aspects, progressivism aims to create a learning environment that is student-centered, collaborative, and focused on developing essential skills for the 21st centuries. Student-centered learning, as we have said, emphasizes on students' interests, needs, and experience. Critical thinking and problem solving emphasizes on developing critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving skills. Collaboration and group work emphasizes on collaboration, communication, and teamwork. Inquiry-based learning emphasizes on student-led inquiry, exploitation, and discovery. Authentic and real-world learning emphasizes on connecting learning to real-world scenarios and applications. So, in this one, progressivism, it encourages you to apply the knowledge into your day-to-day life. So it also helps the students to become an autonomous and agents. It emphasizes on giving students more control over their learning. So it also encourages continuous assessment and feedback. Emphasizes on ongoing assessment and feedback to inform instruction and improve students' teaching method in progressivism. It's centered when we talk about this teaching method prioritize student-centered learning, critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration, reflecting the progressive emphasis on student growth and real-world preparation. Number one, it is a project-based learning. Students work on real-world projects that integrate multiple subjects and skills. Uh, It also emphasizes on group work and collaboration. Students work together to achieve common goals and share perspectives. It's also hands-on activities and experiments. Students engage in practical experiential learning through experiments, stimulations, and exploitations. It is also inquiry-based learning. Students explore questions and topics through investigation, research, and discovery. It is also a flexible and adaptive curriculum, which curricula are adjusted to accommodate students' interests, needs, and learning system. It's a problem-based learning. Students solve real-world problems through critical thinking, creativity, and resourcefulness. It's a source service learning. Students engage in community service and apply academic skills to real world problems. It's a flipped classroom. Students learn foundation knowledge at home and work on activities, projects, and discussions. So this is the most used approach when you are in the university, or as the when you are a learner, a trainer in the university, when you are a lecturer, we use what is called progressivism kind of learning philosophy or theory. Mentorship and coaching. Teachers guide students as mentors and coaches, providing support and feedback. And also, it integrates technology integration. That is whereby you are able to use the technology, which is technology is used to enhance learning, facilitate collaboration, and increase access to resources. So this is the most used, as I've said, as when you are dealing with uh, uh, people that have uh, post-education, postgraduate students, and also students at the university and at the college level. You use this kind of method, which is progressivism theory. This assessment method prioritize assessment students. So I was saying assessment method in progressivism. This assessment method prioritizes student-centered learning, critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration, reflecting the progressive emphasis on student growth and real-world preparation. It also helps to the performance task and projects. Students complete real-world tasks and projects that demonstrate their learning. It The portfolios and self-assessment. Students collect and reflect on their work, setting goals, and identifying areas for improvement. It is where the student has to learn to know, not to pass. One thing about essentialism is that students learn to pass, or students memorize things so that they may pass. But in progressivism, students learn so that they may know. Then there is also what is called peer review and feedback. Students review and provide feedback on each other's work, promoting critical thinking and collaboration. There is also what is called competence-based progression, and this is students progress through levels of proficiency, demonstrating mastery of skills and knowledge. As I said, this is the one that we use at lecturing at the university, where a student must be able to master and become a master in his area of authority. It is authentic assessments. Assessment mirror real-world scenarios, requiring students to apply learning in practice. Self-directed learning plans. Students create personalized learning plans, setting goals and tracking progress. Reflective journals and logs. Students reflect on their learning, documenting progress and challenges and insights. Then there is also class discussion and debate. Students engage in thoughtful discussions and debates, demonstrating critical thinking and communication skills. It also helps the students in presentations and exhibition. Students share their learning through presentation, exhibitions, and performances. There is what is called rubrics and criteria based assessment. Assessment are based on clear criteria and rubrics, providing students with clear expectations and feedback. Now, what are the strengths of progressivism? What are the advantages of progressivism? It encourages critical thinking and creativity. Progressivism fosters students' ability to think critically, solve problems, and approach challenges creativity, and it also develops problem solving and collaboration skills. By working on real world projects and problems, students develop essential skills in collaboration, communication, and problem solving. It also values individual differences and diversity. Progressivism recognizes and appreciates students' unique perspective and experiences and learning style. It also prepares students for democratic citizenship and social responsibility. Progressivism empowers students to engage in their communities, think critically about social issues and how they can be able to solve out the problems, and also develop a sense of social responsibility. It also fosters a love learning by making learning relevant. Engaging the student-centered progressivism can instill a lifelong love of learning or in students. It encourages students' autonomy and agency. Progressivism gives students more control over their learning, allowing them to take ownership and make choices about their education. It also develops essential life skills. Progressivism helps students to develop essential life skills like time management, self-directed learning, and also self-assessment, because it is focused on self-discipline, whilst essentialism, it is an imposed discipline. Now progressivism, it promotes self-discipline. It promotes social and emotional learning. Progressivism addresses the whole child, including social and emotional development, to help students become well-rounded and empathetic. It also fosters a growth mindset. Progressivism encourages students to view challenges as opportunities for growth and learning rather than threats to go. Like essentialism, it threatens for you to fail in school. You are not going to qualify. But progressivism emphasizes that you have the opportunity to learn more, and also what is important is learning than in competing. It prepares students for a rapid changing world. By emphasizing adaptability, creativity, and critical thinking, progressivism helps students develop the skills needed to thrive in a rapid changing world. So, because of the independence of making somebody to think and also come up with their thinking, or being critical and also being able to adapt, it helps students to be able to advance in this rapid changing world. Progressivism weaknesses, regardless of it having the strength and the positives, but it has also got the weaknesses. The weaknesses are its lack of structure and accountability. Progressivism emphasizes on student-centered learning and autonomy, can sometimes lead to a lack of structure and accountability. This sometimes it may lead the student astray. Like when we are talking about this kind of training in a courses like theology, because it means that you allow the student to discover their doctrine, to discover things, and it's a liberal kind of learning. So when it is theology, you discover that they will be able to discover to learn things. That's why we have people that have come up after being in a theological college, then they discover that there is no God. They come to conclude that there is no God. So because that is it lacks accountability, and that's why you may find that most seminaries, they have structured, they use what is called essentialism, whereby you are just imposed what to believe in, but in liberal theology, where you are It is focused on what is called progressivism, where you have to discover your truth. You have to know and understand and be able to explore by yourself. So it is inconsistent implementation. Progressivism flexible approach can result in inconsistent in implementation, making it challenging to ensure equity and quality. So, since you are just allowing the students to discover and to research, you may find that the students may be made differently. They were in the same class, but their perspective may be different, and you may not be able to achieve the common goal. Overemphasizing on individualism, progressivism focus on individual differences and autonomy can sometimes lead to an overemphasis on individualism, neglecting the importance of community and social responsibility. Because each student is made to discover by himself. So it makes the students to be so independent, yeah, and it makes them not to value the importance of uh, working together. It neglects of traditional knowledge and skills. This traditional knowledge, which each one wants now to discover his own things. So progressivism emphasizes on critical thinking, problem solving, and can sometimes lead to a neglect of traditional knowledge and skills. It is more of democratic kind of learning method. Challenging to assess and evaluate. Progressivism focus on progress over products can make it challenging to assess and evaluate students' learning, because each one is going to come up with his own idea. So it is very difficult again to know if the students have achieved or the to achieve one goal. Like in a progressivism, when you are assessing, you use open-ended question whereby the student has to discover things, has to answer by with the way he has understood. What do you understand by this? It requires significant teacher training and support. Progressivism requires teachers to adapt new laws and approaches, which can be time consuming and require significant training support. It can be resource intensive. Progressivism emphasizes on project-based learning and technology. Integration and resource intensive require significant investment, and it requires a lot of material, because in this one you just need a wide library. You just need to have a computer. You just need all the material that is needed for you to explore. It may not also prepare students for standardized tests. Progressivism, a focus on critical thinking and problem solving, may not prepare students for standardized tests and other traditional assessment, like where the exam you have to answer the direct questions. It does not. So you give the open ended questions, can lead to a lack of content knowledge. Progressivism emphasizes on skills and processes, can sometimes lead to a lack of content, knowledge, and depth in specific subjects. It may not be suitable for all students. Progressivism emphasizes on autonomy and self-directed learning may not be suitable for all students, particularly those who require more structure and support. So in this learning, you may find that those students that want to get so much instruction from the lecturer or from the trainer or the teacher, they may be lag behind in this kind of training. Um, there are also gurus who have promoted this kind of training. These individuals, among others, have contributed to the development of progressivism education and its emphasis on student-centered learning, critical thinking, and social responsibility. So we have got gurus like John Dewey, who was born in 1859 and died in 1952. He was an American philosopher as well and educator, known of his work on experiential learning and democracy in education. And we have also Francis Parker, who was born in 1837 to 1902. American educator as well, known for his work on progressive education and development of Queen's method. Now, I want you to know, why do we learn about these gurus, the people that propounded these theories? It's very important to know, so that when any profession, in any profession, what you have to know about the profession is ask them about who is a guru in philosophy, who are gurus in philosophy. If that person cannot answer those questions, you may find that he has not done philosophy. Then we have got Jane Addams, who also, she was also an American um, social worker and peace activist, core of How House and a leader in progressive education. Ellen Gates Steyer, American educator and social former co-founder of How House and a pioneer in progressive education. Then we have got George Herbert Mead, American philosopher and psychologist, known for his work on social psychology and progressive education. So, where progressivism, it is also referred as progressive education. Then uh, we have got John Holt. Also, he was an American educator and author, known for his work on unschooling and child-centered learning. Then we have got Paulo Freire. He was a Brazilian educator and philosopher, known for his work on critical pedagogy and social justice. Then we have got diary colleagues and these students as such as Boyd Bodry. These are the ones that adapted Dowell's theory. Boyd Bodry, Cheriton, Washburn, Harold Drag, and Annie Shim. So, what are the benefits of progressivism? By embracing the benefits of progressivism, educators can create a learning environment that prepares students for successful in the 21st century. It encourages critical thinking and problem solving. It fosters students' autonomy and agency. It develops collaboration and community skills. It prepares students for a rapid changing world. It emphasizes social and emotional learning. It fosters a love learning. It also encourages creativity and innovation. It develops essential life skills. So that is progressivism. So progressivism, it's basically a student-centered approach in education, and it is mostly suitable when you are dealing with mature students. Uh, so you have to be able to understand. You should be able to know what method of learning is suitable to you uh, as a trainer or as a lecturer, as a teacher. So you have to be able to understand where and adjust. You should be able to use the theories according to what you are supposed to do as a trainer. Once again, this is your host, Dr. Tulipo Mwenfumbo. Thank you so much for having this time. God bless you and have a blessed day.